I'm a very busy person. I go to school 6 hours a day, I study and play sports while still making videos for you guys. But this leaves me with a massive problem. I have no time to go to the gym and get jacked, and I know you watching right now have the exact same problem. But don't worry, because after months of trial and error, I have finally figured out how to balance school and gym, everything from diet, training and sleep. So in this video, I'll be going through my detailed plan on how to maintain good grades at school while still having time to get huge at the gym. So without further ado, let's get right into it. The first thing you need to establish is what days you can train during the week. This is going to vary from person to person, but finding this out will give you the foundations needed to choose your split. For example, if you can only train 4 days a week, find a 4-day split. For example, upper-lower. This is what my week looks like. As you can see, I train Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday and Sunday. So I'll choose a 6-day split. In my case, push-pull legs. Also, if you want to copy my split, click the link in the description. Anyway, if you can't train 6 days a week like me, here are some other splits you can try. Now that you've chosen a split that suits you, you need to decide when you should go to the gym. Personally, I come home from school, do my homework and then go to the gym, but you can also go to the gym in the morning or straight after school if that suits you better. On specific days though, you may have more studying to do than others, which could eat into your time at the gym. On these days though, you could potentially shorten your workouts by doing one less exercise, dropping one set, or even resting for less time. I know it's not ideal, but if you're only shortening your workouts once in a blue moon, then it doesn't really matter and you'll still make massive gains in the gym. Now let's move on to diet. I'm not going to tell you that you need to count every single calorie you eat because that's a lot of work. Most people like myself just don't have the time to do so, especially if primarily what you're eating is school food or your parents' cooking. Because let's be honest, no one wants to go up to the school canteen asking for how many calories on your food. But don't worry, there's an easy solution. To solve this, weigh yourself every single day, aiming to gain around 0.25 to 0.5 kg of weight a week. If your current diet isn't allowing you to gain enough weight each week, simply eat 250 to 500 calories more a day. It's also important to weigh yourself at the same time so you can get a consistent and accurate weight. Don't be disheartened if your weight randomly shoots up, because as a teenager, you're still growing, so you need to take that into account. Keep in mind, for this to work, you need to be training hard throughout the week so you don't just gain fat. It's that simple. Eat the same as you are now and adjust your diet by eating more or less so you're just gaining enough weight each week. If you're in the position where you need to eat more to gain weight, I recommend having a protein shake. This is because they're extremely easy to make, and someone who's terrible at cooking, making a protein shake can save me a lot of time in the morning. I usually bring my protein shake into school and either sip it throughout the day or have it at lunch. I have to warn you though, because if you do this, there'll be a lot of people in school asking what's in your protein shake. If you want my recipe though, click the link in the description for my full day of eating video where I make my protein shake. Your protein intake is very important for building muscle, so it's important to somewhat track it, aiming for around 2.2 grams per kg of body weight. I know this can be hard if you don't know exactly what you're eating, but it's a lot easier than counting calories. Just find out how much meat you're eating in your meal and Google how much protein is in that amount of food. And if you're struggling to eat enough protein throughout the day, just eat more meat or use protein powder to supplement you. I know firsthand that school can get in the way of sleep, and a lot of you watching right now probably disregard how much sleep you get. But I can't stress enough how important sleep is for building muscle and boosting energy levels. The amount of sleep you need varies from person to person, but the recommended amount is between 8 and 10 hours. I usually get 8 hours and 40 minutes of sleep a night, but I'm actually going to increase this because I still feel tired throughout the day. But the bottom line is, you should adjust your sleep based on how you feel. And stop watching TikTok in bed and gooning, because that does not help your sleep. Anyway, that's all for today's video. Please make sure to like and subscribe because I really appreciate it, and comment if you have any other video suggestions or if you have any questions whatsoever about your lifting journey. And yeah, I really appreciate the support. Thank you so much for 300 subscribers, and yeah, I'll see you later.